I would like it to be known that I have a book buying problem. I've started 2026 off reading very few books but buying a lot. So the ratio is off, friends. I am going to talk you through a book haul today. This is an accumulative book haul. I have got some new releases that have arrived from when I pre-ordered them. I have some that I bought over like Christmas, New Year time, but then a lot of these are from when my husband and I went away end of January, early Feb, to Sydney and Melbourne, and I bought way too many. So many that I had to buy check-in luggage when I was down there. I only went with like carry-on. We had to buy a full thing and it weighed nearly 23 kilos. So this is not just mine, he bought books too, but I'm going to talk you through what I chose while we were away. And that is all I'm going to tell you. Let's just get straight into the books. I am not going to say like every single synopsis because otherwise we will be literally here all day. But I'll give you a quick brief overview of why I picked it. And hopefully you find a few little goodies in here too, and you can let me know if you've read any of these and which ones you think I will like. But other than that, let's get straight into this book haul. Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to tackle this with you guys. I think I'm going to go with the ones that I have ordered online that have arrived. There's a few that aren't new, but then there are some new releases. So one of the first ones that arrived because I was watching one of my favorite booktubers and she recommended it is William by Mason Coyle, a little horror novella. William is this creation of the husband in this, and he becomes a little bit too fixated on the wife. Our main character can't destroy him, this robot, this AI being, and becomes creepy. That's all I know. Anyway, I really wanted to read it. I have started it, but I'm in a slump. So another one that I ordered over Christmas is The Frozen People by Ellie Griffiths. The reason I got it is because like I'm really fascinated by cold cases, even though I know this obviously isn't true crime, but also look at this. I just love this cover. I think it's so cool. Ali Dawson is a police officer working on cold cases. Crime's so old, the joke goes that they're almost frozen. And I think it's like modern day present, but then she gets like transported back into the 50s or something with these cold cases she's got to solve. Anyway, I don't know if that's what it's about, but it sounds cool and I really liked the cover and I love a good hardback. So I ordered that. Into some new releases that have arrived. I pre-ordered Jane Ann Krentz's The Shop on Hidden Lane. This sounds a little bit complicated, I won't lie. I think I put like a 2026 new release video out. This was on that list. And even then, reading the synopsis, I still couldn't really tell you exactly what it's about because there's a lot going on. There's like mediums and like there's a bit of like paranormal stuff going on. There's murder, there's people going missing, there's family secrets, and that's all I needed to know really. Yeah, psychic trails, I don't know. Sounds good, and I got it. This isn't a new release, sorry it snuck in, but this one is called The Collected Regrets of Clover. What I didn't realize when I bought this book is that it's actually by an Australian author, but it's set in New York, I believe. And it's about a woman, she's a death jeweler in New York City. And I think this is a good palate cleanser for me, like amongst the horror and thriller, like these sorts of heartfelt, meaningful novels that really have something to say about how we live our lives. So I needed that. And look, it's so small and cute. I'm really excited to read this. This one arrived just the other day and it is Operation Bounce House by Matt Dinnerman. This one, bit of a sci-fi horror, I believe. I haven't read any of Matt Dinnerman's before, like the Crawler Carl series that everyone talks about. I haven't read. This one, couldn't tell you. I just read the back of this and I still don't really know how to summarize this for you. But it's like there's a game, there's bored Earth people, and there's a whole world being created in this game. I don't know. It sounded fun. I needed a bit of a sci-fi horror thriller. Sci-fi is something I really want to read more of in 2026. Probably my most like anticipated book cover of the year. I'm actually obsessed with it. It's How to Kill a Guy in 10 Dates by Shaylee Thompson. Like, and the sprayed edges. Oh, it's stunning. Even the back. Anyway, I love it. It's giving like noir. I don't know, old school. I'm just frothing out. I'm frothing it, guys. Speed dating horror slasher. Say less. Speed dating slasher. I don't believe this next one is actually a new release. Let me just check. 2025. Well, we'll give it to. So this is The 7 O'Clock Club by Amelia Island. I've actually just started this last night and I am very excited to continue reading it as soon as I've finished filming this video. Basically, a group of 4 people come together with this psychologist. She's got some alternative ways to deal with grief, and that is all we know. And I don't know yet what those alternative ways are, but they're meeting once a week at 7 o'clock on a Tuesday, and that's it. So I'm really excited to continue to read this afternoon. A few more that I found over Christmas. So many people were talking about the TV series of All Her Fault by Andrea Mara. I haven't read an Andrea Mara book yet, and I thought I'd pick this up. My brother's girlfriend mentioned the TV show, so I was like, well, maybe I should read the book. So I ordered that one about this woman who turns up to pick up her son from a play date, and when she knocks on the door, the woman's like, I don't know who your son is, he's not here, kind of thing. That's all I need to know. I found these 2 at my local Dymocks here in Brisbane. One called Red River 7 by AJ Ryan. 7 strangers awaken with no memories. Together they must undertake a mission into the heart of darkness. But they like wake up on a boat in the middle of the night, and they're strangers and they've all got a gun each or something. All of them possess a gun. Yeah, none of them can remember their names and all of them possess a gun. A message appears on the onboard computer. Proceeding to point A, the group agrees to work together to survive whatever's coming. Oh, sounds so intense. Sounds so unique. I really liked it. And it's only like not even 300 pages. So I'm really excited to read that one. Bit of like a nautical horror, and I'm keen. And House of Hunger by Alexis Henderson. This one. Another really little one. Lots of little horror novels. And this is what hooked me, right? Wanted. A blood maid of exceptional taste must have a keen proclivity for life's finer pleasures. Girls of weak will not need apply. I think this is going to be kind of vampiric, sexy, sapphic, and I am all for it. Let's go. Bought these after I came back from Sydney and Melbourne, but I'm going to include these in this portion of the video because they are from Dymocks near my home here. One is called No Women Were Harmed by Heather Modishead. Hooked in by this cover. And it sounds like women in maybe mental institutions in the 1800s, early 1900s, Victorian era basically. One unruly woman takes her revenge on the men who would keep her caged and ultimately asks where we draw the line between villain and victim in a society where the odds are stacked against women from the start. Something a little bit different for me anyway, so I grabbed that. I really thought it sounded good. It's completely different, but my husband, I read him the blurb when we were in the store, and he goes, I think you need to read it. Like, I think it's where I'm at in my life. It's called Very Impressive for Your Age by Eleanor Kirk. Another beautiful cover. You're going to hear me say that a lot, sorry. As if you've been around and watched a few of my videos by now, you know I am someone who judges the book by a cover. And I fucking love a beautiful cover, especially if it's horror and thriller. But anyway, like this, what happens when overnight the next big thing becomes a nobody? And it sounds like it's like a mid-20s, late 20s woman who was going to be like an opera star, an opera singer, and she had her whole life mapped out for what she wanted to be, and something happens and she has to change course, and she ends up teaching at like her old school or something. A debating coach, no experience needed, and this might be just her ticket back to relevance. A deeply funny novel about chasing your dreams and losing your ambition. The book explores the mid-20s crisis that occurs when you learn that who you always wanted to be when you grew up isn't quite what you imagined. I'm not going to get into my own mental state, but this sounds very relevant to me at the moment, and I'm pretty much ready to pick this up. But yes, so something a little bit different for what I normally read, so another great palette cleanser for me. Okay, the next 20 odd books are all the ones that I bought when we were away in Sydney and Melbourne. If you would like to watch that travel book shopping vlog, I'll link it below. It's this one. If you haven't watched it yet, then I would appreciate you watching it. My husband and I also saw a lot of great theatre, opera, musicals, all sorts of things, and just ate great food, drank great wine. So there's a little bit of everything. It's very chill and low-key. So if you need something just to have in the background and for me to just hang out with you in your living room, then yeah, go watch that. But you'll see me buy a lot of books. Okay, first one. This is Murder by Memory by Olivia White. A mind is a terrible thing to erase. A tiny, tiny baby of a novella, and I have already actually read it. And it was quite good. I enjoyed it. This spaceship that has been going for a couple of hundred years that has a certain number of people from Earth who can like store their memories. So when their body dies, they can put it into a new body kind of thing. But then our main character, who is a detective on board, she wakes up in a new body and everyone else, there's something going on outside. So everyone's in lockdown except her. And then she stumbles across a dead body Anyway, so it's a bit of a murder mystery. It's very cozy. It's not even, it's like 100 pages. So there's not like a lot of character development that can happen, but it is really sweet and wholesome, just cozy sci-fi murder mystery. The Graceview Patient by Caitlin Starling. This is stunning. Obsessulated. Okay, this one is following our main character called Margaret. She has a rare autoimmune disease and she gets put into this experiment, basically, a drug trial essentially at this hospital. But it's like, it could be grueling, it could kill her, it could also help her, blah, 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 blah. But during the course of taking the medication, she starts questioning reality because she's seeing things are going a little bit spooky in this place. So it's her journey through this experiment while also battling with what reality is. Are they just messing with people because they can? Anyway, really cool. I loved this cover and I bought it. Wrecked by Alex Gonzalez. Another stunning cover, but what I will say, if you watched my vlog, you will have seen me say this, is this cost fucking $63 from Dimmicks for this. Robbery. I am more willing to pay that at an independent bookstore, but I can't believe I got this, but I really wanted to read it, you know, and I haven't seen this up here in Queensland. But basically, a disturbing examination of toxic masculinity and the darkest pits of the internet. So I think it's like our main character, his wife or partner has died in a car accident. When he's dealing with his grief and his shock of losing her, he spirals into the internet of like gore videos and shock value videos. And they're the things that used to terrify him as a kid, you know what I mean? And then someone messaged him a dark web link of his partner dying. Can't stop watching it. And so I think it's just like his descent into the darkest pits of his own mental state and the internet. So this sounds really light and really easy to read. So yeah, got that. Girl in the Creek. This is another really pretty cover. I do love my hardcovers. I'm a hardcover person. I will pick them over paperback, especially if there's only $5 or $10 between it. I will always pick a hardcover. I find they last longer. Anyway, and I prefer the covers usually here. I feel like the covers on hardbacks are better. This I don't know much about. I was drawn in by the cover, as usual. His brother's been missing. He walked into the forest and vanished. And she's headed there to the same forest just to uncover the truth. So it sounds like a typical, like, you know, gonna find answers for my family member who has disappeared. But then she finds the corpse of a woman in a local creek. Very powerful forces from the world and beyond, hell-bent on keeping their secrets buried. Is this the one that's like mushrooms? Mushroom horror? Am I making that up? Anyway, okay, so that. The Scald Crow by Grace Darley, I think it is. Another little one, little horror. This is a new release, I believe. 2025, yeah. Another one I don't know very much about, was drawn in by this cover. Self-deprecating horror novel shot through with gallows humour, explores medical trauma through Irish folklore, asking, can a sick woman ever be trusted? Say less. Love it. Murder at the Black Cat Cafe. Oh, do I even need to explain why I picked this up? No. Oh, it's so cute. I feel like this is just going to be so cozy, and it's got a cat on the cover, so, but it's also like a cat gets killed, I'm pretty sure. So at least I know that going in. Hey, so cute. Warm Bodies by Isaac Marion. This one. It just looked gross and it sounds gross, so that was enough for me to be like, you're coming home with me. It's a zombie novel. Oh, is this like a zombie falling in love thing? Like a weird zombie romance? I think it is. Yeah, I can see why I picked it up now. Basilisk by Matt Waxy. Look at this. Oh, so cool. And this is like a online gaming thing, I think, and that's why I picked it up. I love haunted media, haunted games, videos, DVDs, anything. Ethical hacker, like most hackers, prefers questions to answers. So when she and her colleagues, Jane Morton, stumble across a mysterious game created by a shadowy figure known as the Helmsman, they are instantly hooked. As they solve increasingly bizarre puzzles to uncover the Helmsman's deranged manifesto, they are pursued by a sinister group only known as, and it's like redacted. Doesn't that sound fun? I think it sounds fun. And then one of them goes missing. Cool. So yeah, like a haunted game. I'm so up for that. And that's what like Such Lovely Skin, which is up here, Pride and Place, that kind of had that vibe. But this is chunky. This is 550 pages. So fucking hell. But it is kind of like the actual formatting of it is, I feel like will be very easy to read and make my way through, if you know what I mean. Like it's not like a 550 Stephen King novel. Like it feels like it's got a little bit more fun in it. Okay, and I know I didn't do a January reading wrap up, but I read 7 Year Slip by Ashley Preston, is it? Poston? Yeah. And guys, I gave it 5 stars. I'm not a romance person, but I fucking loved that book. And it felt like it's been on my shelf since it came out. It's been waiting for the right time. And that was the right time. I had the best time reading it. It really struck a chord with me. I thought it was beautiful. I loved the magical realism element of it and the characters. And I just enjoyed that they were older-ish. Like they weren't like 18, 19, 20-year-olds. There were people who've lived, they had aspirations, they have dreams. But I just enjoyed, the mystery of this room in this building. And the magic of it. Oh, I loved it. Anyway, so when we were in Sydney, I found this beautiful sprayed edge like version of it. And I thought I'd show you. It's so beautiful. So I had to buy it because it was a 5-star read. So now I can replace my my little paperback. I absolutely loved this book. So yes, as a non-romance girl anyway, it really struck a chord with me and I just loved it. Anyway, so that was that one. Then I found The October Film Haunt by Michael Wehunt. By Michael Wehunt. Another cool cover. I'm addicted to cool covers. October Film Haunt is like this group of like horror film enthusiasts who would go on retreats to like areas where they would film horror movies and stuff and like cult films, you know. Something happened, a creepy like video shows up in the mail of like our main character and she thinks someone's like watching her and whatever, and what links her to the anyway, I know very little about it. All I know is that it's like cult film, horror film enthusiasts, and something goes wrong, blah blah blah. Sounds good. Don't need to know any more than that. This is an oldie, I think. I remember this doing the rounds all over social media a good couple of years ago, but I found this beautiful hardback cover down from $50. I got it for $15 at Book Grocer in Melbourne, and that is The House in the Pines by Anya Reyes. Look at that. I'm so happy I found this. I've had this on my TBR like list for since it came out. Let me have a look. Yeah, 2023, good few years ago. About a creepy cabin in the woods. So it sounds like women have gone missing or died or something from this cabin, and now our main character is going back there to figure out what's going on. So that's it. And yeah, I just don't feel like this will take long to read because look at the font size. I feel like this is a child's book, but shouldn't take too long. Another one I found at Book Grocer, down from $50, I got it for $20. The House at Watch Hill by Karen Marie Moaning. Haven't ever heard of this book. It was in the crime thriller section, but it kind of is giving a little bit of like fantasy horror, I reckon. Don't you reckon? Even just the cover. Oh, this is like a classic woman who didn't realize rich family had this estate. She gets it in like the will, but she has to live there for 3 years before she is like able to have the fortune, the family fortune kind of thing. And things start happening, you know? She is delving deeper into the mansion's mysteries. There's like a creepy red owl, which, he's on the cover. Yeah. Doors that go nowhere, a captivating Scottish groundskeeper. Doors that are impossible to open, a turret into which there is no visible means of ingress, all while the townsfolk whisper of dark legends. Unaware of her own ties to the house, Zoe must confront ancient evils and unlock something deep and dark within herself before evil consumes her completely. Sounds a little bit different. And again, it was so cheap and beautiful cover. Like, there's nothing wrong with this. And again, I think I've made it clear is that I love a hard cover. I'm actually making pretty good progress. I'm smashing through these and I'm not being very, very in-depth with the synopses, but if you are intrigued by any of them, go look them up. They all in my opinion, sound really good. Obviously, they can't all be, or that maybe they are. Maybe they'll all be 5-star novels, and I'm just gonna have one of those years. Please. But like 5 or 6 left to talk to you about. The next one is Room 706 by Ellie Levinson. Oh, yeah, Kate stretches her legs and turns on the TV while James washes away the traces of their morning. She watches in horror at the unfolding news. The hotel they are staying in has been taken under siege. She should be making her way home, working on appearing normal, getting ready to re-enter family life with her loving husband, Vic, and their 2 adored children. Instead, she's trapped somewhere she shouldn't be with a man she definitely doesn't love. Uh-oh. Sounds like a unique plot. Like, I was like, I haven't really read anything like that. Sounds good. Another one that's a bit different is The Elsewhere Express by Samantha Soto Yambao. Like, look at this. And if you read my travel vlog, you'll see that I saw this in many bookstores and I got sucked in because this one is signed and I just kept seeing it everywhere. Like, yay, it's signed. And I kept seeing it at all the bookstores. So I went, you know what, I'll grab it. It was called to. Like, I just needed this in my life. I still do. So when I'm ready, I feel like this will be waiting for me. Elsewhere Express, a magical train that offers its passengers a sense of purpose, peace, and belonging. The journey is a chance for Rhea to reimagine her life, but only if she finds her compartment before time runs out. So I think there's going to be like, our main character's lost. She doesn't know where she's going in her life, and this train helps you discover your purpose kind of thing. I don't know, sounds really good. I'm sure we'll meet some beautiful characters. Hopefully it's very heartfelt. Hopefully it hits the spot for what I'm after. The Three by Sarah Lotz. Black Thursday, the day that will never be forgotten, the day that 4 passenger planes crash at almost exactly the same moment at 4 different points around the globe. Wow. Then there's a warning that will change the world. So that was all I knew. I picked it up. I was like, it sounds good, like planes crashing. Great, sounds fun. And that it changes the world forever and something happens and a warning goes out. Sounds good. We're on the home stretch. Okay. Beth is Dead by Katie Burnett. Another stunning cover. Beth March has been murdered and all her sisters are suspects. That's all I wanted to know. It's all you need to know. I am not a Little Women fan, all right? But I'm happy with one of them getting murdered and I'm happy for it to be like flipped on its head and become a murder mystery. That is way more intriguing. So I am going to read this and enjoy it probably a lot more than I ever will Little Women. And, don't really need to talk much about this one. This is Strange Pictures by Yuketsu. I picked this cover because it's so different to the ones we normally see. And I just preferred the green. Like, I think this is the other one, but I just preferred this one. Even though I do have, what's this other one? Strange Houses in like the pink and blue. I don't know. I'm very excited to read this one. I did really enjoy Strange Houses as well. We've made it pretty much to the end. I have one more to show you. How exciting. I'm out of breath from talking so fast. I've been meaning to do this video for a week or two, but I was overwhelmed by how many books I had sitting here. So I am very excited to show you guys. And now I can get on to rearranging my bookshelves, which I might take you along for because right now I have no freaking room for them. Like, it's all very spaced out and organized for the exact number of books I have. So I'm now got to find room for 30 other books. It's going to be a job. So you might, if you want, you can come join me for that in the next week. But my last book from this book haul is The Haunting of Payne's Hollow by Kelly Armstrong. Another bloody stunning cover. Oh, gorge. This is another like property in the will. This woman, her grandfather is dying. She doesn't think she'll get anything from him because like her dad, the grandfather's son, was accused of murdering a child at a cottage. And so, but the grandfather like believed his son was innocent this whole time, but she didn't. She's like, my dad did it, blah, blah, blah. But turns out the grandfather left her the property and he's like, no, you get to stay in this house for a month until you admit that he was innocent kind of thing. And then she has to face some family truths and things, whatever. Love a haunted house, love family secrets. Sounds really fun. And again, I was just drawn in by this beautiful cover. Very beautiful. And Payne's Hollow, like it's such a great name. The Haunting of Payne's Hollow. I don't know. I love a good title. It's probably one of my favorite titles out of the lot. Thank you so, so much if you have made it all the way through. I tried my best to be quick and succinct about this video because I know book hauls can go on forever if you're going to talk about the synopsis of everyone. Obviously, I could have. There were some that really intrigued me that I wanted to tell you about, but I encourage you to look up any of these books that have caught your eye because, like, to me, they were all good enough to spend my own hard-earned money on. So I'm hopeful that I've got some really good hidden gems in there that I don't see many people talk about. Like, I haven't seen yet half of these on anyone's lists. So I will get to reading and tell you all about them. And if you haven't, yeah, feel free to go watch the book shopping travel vlog where I purchased all of these. I would love to know what you're reading this month. And if there's anything you think I should read out of this list first, then please let me know. And other than that, I will see you in the next video. Bye!